Well, sometimes you just don't put any thought into how you're going to start an episode, and then you start an episode like this.
Hey, yeah. Well, let's just say welcome to the episode, folks.
Yeah, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Or folk. Listener. Hello, listener.
Hello, you.
Hey.
Thanks for sticking it out.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah. You took a wrong turn somewhere.
Hello and welcome. This is probably the best way that you're going to spend your Friday evening, given the pandemic.
Or your Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening, depending on when you listen to it.
Depending on how many evenings it takes you to get through this episode. Sure. Yeah. So we are. My name's Brady.
I'm Pete.
And we make up 3 halves of the Movie Men.
Mm-hmm.
Fun little podcast. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently working on a series. There's rumored to be a new 007 film coming called No Time to Die.
Mm-hmm.
The last of the Daniel Craig 007s. And you know what? I will believe it when I see it. But in the meantime,
Can I take it back
seen...
one step? Because I feel ignorant even asking this. You're way more up to movie like news and gossip than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Is it confirmed like 100% this is it? Like definitively?
No, that's never that's never confirmed.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, we are steadfast on our current release date. We're proceeding as if that's...
I mean, like, with Daniel Craig, this is being his last film.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
From everything I've heard, he's done after this.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talk about, Henry Cavill, or there was a bunch of rumors like 2 months ago that the process had begun, like a successful audition and negotiations and stuff had begun with Tom Hardy. So we'll see. It's too soon to tell. I think he would do a good job.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just not on that fan boat yet. I don't know. Tom Hardy, there's other candidates I think I'd be more interested, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
So anyways, I had never seen any of the 007 films before. And so we are rectifying that. It's a weird word, rectify. We're rectifying it. We're watching them all. We rank them on a scale of 0 to 10 in 8 different categories. Then we take those, we tally up the scores, and that gives us a ranking in our quest to find the quintessential Bond film. Not necessarily our favorite.
If one exists.
You can only watch one.
If it exists.
Mm-hmm. If you can only watch one, what is going to be the most pleasurable, coerced or otherwise experience?
Thunderball.
Yeah.
Is not the answer.
So that's where we are. And between you and me, we've watched a shitload of James Bond movies.
Too many, some might say. Too many.
Most would say we have watched a superfluous number of 007 films. There seems to be a superfluous number. Yeah, over 50 years. That's crazy. Anyways, we are up to Quantum of Solace, which is our second Daniel Craig James Bond film, following Casino Royale, which for both of us took the lead last time.
Yes.
You by a much bigger margin than me. I think you were like 9.2, 9.3.
9.3.
10.1 or something.
If I could, I would.
And I was 7.6. Just edging out GoldenEye.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Quantum of Solace. Now, last time you were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you were hell-bent on being the one that sort of led the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're feeling that way again?
No, I'm ready
Or
to
what
go
you would
back.
like to do?
I'm ready to go back to the I'll go second.
Okay. All right. So let me open my list then. Like a prepared professional. Okay. So our first category is plot. I gave this a 6.
Okay.
It's a revenge story.
Sure.
It's a revenge story with a guy that's denying that he's after revenge. He's playing the whole heartless. She didn't mean anything to me. I don't want revenge. It doesn't matter. I don't need to go kill the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Which, okay, whatever. It's a revenge story. Then so we've got this other sort of overarching plot where you've got this villain who wants to buy, or procure himself through a what can only be described as a legitimate business deal. He's going to get himself a plot of desert, that nobody can, everyone's like, wow, but we've dug for oil there. There's no oil, so you're wasting your time. And turns out somehow, I don't know how our villain is privy to this information, but there's an underwater lake. It's like the country's water supply.
Yeah.
So if he owns this, he owns it all.
Yeah.
And bully for him. And so, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't a confusing plot per se. I thought it was pretty lackluster.
Oh, yeah.
There just wasn't anything that wowed me. For being a higher stakes plot than Casino Royale, I was far less captivated by the plot.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I think Quantum of Solace is a stronger plot idea than Casino Royale, but I think Casino Royale executes a weak plot idea damn near flawlessly, whereas Quantum of Solace has a great plot idea, and they just kind of fumble the ball around a bit.
That's a really interesting point, and I completely agree with that. That's a good point.
So a 6, still above average, but just.
Yeah, for me, it is a 5 out of 10. So I give it an average score. It's not the most complex plot. It's not the most straightforward. It's decent. I think you put it very well. They fumbled around with it a bit too much. If they had gone simpler and executed better, would have been better. It's just average for me. A couple of things of note. I do have to say we have come a long way, and this isn't plot per se, but it's more just the cinematic ability. We had some sequences like at the beginning where they're at the safe house and there's intentional dramatic cuts to a horse race, and eventually, like, as the drama kind of escalates in the scene, both for visual contrasts
as it does at horse races.
As it does. Just for visual contrasts and leading up and the action building up, there'd be cuts to the horse races, and the horse race would be kind of climaxing as like the safe house scene was climaxing. So it was just interesting seeing something that was like, hey, a little bit more artistic merit compared to some of the stuff we've seen over the last 50 years. And it's not necessarily a knock on that other stuff. That stuff is representative of the time.
Did you say the horse race was climaxing?
Well, it was building to a climax.
No, that's fine. I think I misheard. I didn't hear the word race. I just heard the horse was climaxing, and I'm like, this is a weird. I don't know what kind of like director's cut you watched, but that's not the experience I had.
The Daniel Craig special. Of note, we see Mr.
Sounds
White.
more like the Roger Moore special to me.
We see Mr. White again, and we wonder what organization is he a part of? Maybe Spectre, maybe not.
Unfortunately not.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, they refer to it as Quantum.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just trying to stay on the fence. I don't want to say it's part of it. I don't want to say it's not. I'm just saying we'll see where this goes. The one thing I want to finish on, and it's more, again, cinematic category than plot per se, just the visuals from here on out in the series, for me, I'm not as much of a fan of. Casino Royale, to me personally, how I perceive it, just the color schemes are just way more vibrant and bright and full of life, and they kind of mirrored James Bond at that time. And at that time, he's more cavalier, he's careless, he's unjaded. From here, from Quantum forward, to me, how I perceive the visual color tones, they're more bland, they're more dark, they're less vibrant, and they're kind of more reflective of him now. He's jaded, he's heartbroken, he's kind of emotionally scarred. So I think there's cinematic...
Which is brilliant storytelling.
100%. And I it's not a knock that this is the case. It's just that I enjoy it less.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's fair.
5 out of 10.
Bangarang. I can't... You know what? Excuse me. I can't comment on the color scheme in this one beyond the point of saying I noticed the coloring in Casino Royale and I didn't in this one.
Okay.
So for whatever that's worth.
Sure.
Yeah. Which likely means it was more neutral or just more bland.
Right. Interesting.
Next up, we have Portrayal of Bond. Last time I gave this a 9.
Wow.
Because I was wowed. I was, this is unique. This is a take on him that we haven't seen, and I think it's done really well. This time, I gave it a 10.
Whoa. This is your first 10, is it not?
This is my first 10 ever. This is...
Wow.
Be careful. It's my first time. You know what? I think it's... I mean, it's the same actor for sure, right? And so I think...
Wait, no.
Daniel
Just
Craig
stop.
did a...
Hold on. Just let me Google it. Yeah, it is the same
It
actor.
is?
Yep.
Okay, gosh. Phew. I wouldn't want to say anything if it wasn't factual. You know what? I think he just did... He did an amazing job of transitioning from this new, wonderful, emotionally capable Bond that we had. He did a brilliant job of transitioning from that towards the Bond that we know, the unattached, lone wolf, womanizing Bond.
Yeah.
Emotionally scarred Bond. But that's just it. He gave us emotionally scarred. It wasn't just, it was the Bond that we know, but it was the Bond that we know with context, with an explanation.
Sure.
With understanding, with emotion, with depth, as opposed to this guy is a douchebag, has liver rot and 5 or 6 STIs. This time it was, this is a guy that's hurting. He's angry. He's sad. He's a little confused.
Yeah.
He's I think kind of shell shocked. Like he hasn't gotten over the lie, the deception, the wall that was pulled over his eyes, and struggling with picking up on the fact that although she betrayed him, right? Because he went from "I love her so much" to "the bitch is dead,"
Yeah.
to trying to reel back and understand, yes, she betrayed me, but X, Y, and Z she did because she loved me.
Right. Yeah.
Right. She was there for the wrong reasons, but that doesn't mean that it was all disingenuous. And so yeah, just his path and his discovery of that and his wit and his interactions with M, I had a blast. And I'm not saying that it won't get better. I'm just saying it left me wanting for nothing. So I gave it a 10.
That's super interesting. I can't fault you for that score. I've never actually articulated that thought or kind of looked at it from that angle, I guess is a better way to say that. Because, yeah, the way he's acting in this film isn't new, but we have such a new context. That's a really good point. Not so much what is James Bond, but how is James Bond, or why is James Bond the way he is. So,
and it's not just same guy, but with a little bit of story written in. He embodies that context.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's super interesting. I have a lot less to say about this one. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think I gave it a bit lower of a score than Casino, and I'm going to be completely biased. I think it's just because I like Quantum of Solace less than Casino. I don't have any problems or issues with Daniel Craig per se. My only note, and I think this is a benefit to, or a feather in the cap of the performance in this film, it was just interesting to see James Bond comforting Mathis in a way, in his own way, during Mathis passing. And I thought that was definitely something interesting where, yes, this film is more traditional Bond, or at least how Bond acts, but there was still that moment that was still very unique and very contrast to what we've seen for the past 40 years. So I thought that was interesting. That still bled through, that he had feelings for him and still kind of a human emotional connection. So, but I gave it a 7, bit lower of a score.
And what a great line when he says, "Ironically, you're about the only one I think I can trust right now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To Mathis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Villain. I gave this a 7. I think this is a step down.
Wow.
From Le Chiffre for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Missing a gimmick, really, except for the fact that he always kind of looks like he's having a stroke. Like he's always.
Listen.
He rounds the corner to see that you've brought him McDonald's for dinner, and his eyes are like he's a deer in the headlights the entire time.
Yeah.
Which made him in its own way made him a little menacing.
I guess.
But you know what? He was, you could have taken this guy and made him the Miami Vice guy from whatever the hell Bond that was.
Who cares? Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And it really wasn't any. He's a player. He's probably a pretty smart business guy.
I guess.
He's got his hands in a lot of different pockets.
Sure.
He's got some unnecessarily wide-armed sunglasses. Like the things that just I watched this movie twice again.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I noticed it both times. I was like, why are his glasses so weird? Go back and watch it and just pay attention to his sunglasses.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I swear the next time I watch it, I will be like, oh.
Super upsetting.
Yeah. Okay.
So overall, it's just pretty unspectacular. His interactions with Bond, he doesn't, he didn't frighten me. Mm-hmm. He had a bigger scheme. He was more menacing and diabolical in his planning than Le Chiffre was. But I was nowhere near as frightened of this guy who was going to cut off a country's water supply and had done something like this God knows how many times in the past, was going to continue to do this, was like turning governments against, like corrupting governments. Like this guy has some hireable skills.
Sure. He's also a real piece of crap.
Yeah, well, for sure. Well, I mean, we all are. But I was far less frightened of this guy than the guy who's really good at poker and just likes to get rich.
Yeah.
Like, Le Chiffre
True.
was a dick and was taking money that wasn't his.
And funding world terrorists. But really that was his end game. He was just money laundering, basically. Sure. Yeah, I agree. He wasn't as menacing.
And I was far more terrified of him. I was far more terrified with the guy with the bougie checkbook than the douchebag who actually had all the power.
Mhm.
He didn't frighten me.
Yeah.
So I gave it what'd I say, 7. Yeah, 7. So still, I mean, far better than most of the Bond villains we've had.
Sure. I also
But
thought
it's definitely a step down.
Oh yeah, you know what? I will agree with you. It was a step down from Le Chiffre. I thought it was so much of a step down. I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Wow, you decimated this guy.
Yeah, listen, Dominique, just for lack of a better term, he's such a huge dweeb. Like,
which is a girl's name, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. if you're listening and your name is Dominique, I'm just I'm an ass. Don't listen to me.
I thought you meant dweeb for a second. I'm like, who would name their girl dweeb? But maybe.
My second girlfriend.
Yeah, I thought he was more pathetic than intimidating. I felt like he had more in common with Bad Luck Brian than a true Bond villain. I just thought he was quite lame. That's basically what it comes down to. One point that I just really kind of adds to this, but it was just a specific example. There was a scene in the climax, and this time I mean the climax, not the whatever horse. Anyway, Bond and Green are fighting at the end of the film, and the fight scene took way too long, not from a cinematic perspective, but just from a reality-based perspective. So we've seen Bond with his shirt off. That dude's jacked. He's jacked. He just is. Green can hardly lift an axe. Like, I'm sure the pressure from the water sprinklers in that hotel spraying on Green would have been enough to tip him over. So I literally don't understand how Green could have put up a fight longer than 4 seconds and Bond just throat punched him across the room. So yeah, 3 out of 10.
I just made a connection.
Yeah, okay.
That they don't talk about in the movie.
What?
Or if they do, I missed it both times.
Lay it on me.
We have a Mr. White, and now we have a Mr. Green.
Okay.
Who are quite possibly part of the same organization, and they're both named after colors. If this isn't the biggest damn game of Clue, Mr. White and Mr. Green. Okay, I'm on to something. I think.
I don't know.
There's no way that's just a coincidence.
I think it is. But yeah, I just don't like Dominique. I didn't think he was a great villain, and I gave him a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
what do we got next?
Yeah. The one thing, I'm just going to rip on one more thing. He has temper tantrums. Like, when his girlfriend kind of backstabbed him, he's like, "You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. I'm going to freak out."
I don't think you're allowed to play a clip from the movie like that without some sort of copyright claim.
Listen. Come on.
Okay, so gadgets. Gadgets, I gave this a 5, which is the same I gave it in Casino Royale.
Yeah, I'm surprised it got only a 5. Okay.
We have the car. The car didn't last very long.
No.
Which is fine. It's pretty effed up by the time we see it. In this one.
I don't think we want it anymore. No.
No. Back to BMW.
Hell no.
You know what? There was a cool scene. Like, there's this cool table they have where they put the bill down on it, and it scans the bill. That was cool.
Yeah.
There's a completely unnecessary. Someone sat down and they're like, you know what would be really cool? I'm picturing a screen, and the only purpose of this screen is when you make phone calls, it will show you where in the world you're calling. Really cool looking, super unnecessary. The only other thing that really stood out to me as a gadget is a fantastic moment and plays into the portrayal of Bond, I think. But it's when he's at the theater and the Quantum members are having a meeting, right? They are having a radio meeting through their earpieces. They're all sitting in various spots in the theater, and they're having a radio meeting. And Bond, who's intercepted the call, comes on and he says, if I can give my input, I think you guys should find a better place to meet. And all of a sudden they realize they've been made, and proceedingly one by one they stand up to leave, which is exactly what Bond wanted them to do, because now they've all identified themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a really cool camera thing, smartphone app that like not only photographs them but scans them and identifies them, and that was cool.
Yeah. Which of note was
really,
like, I can't believe those people, like, if you've been had, there's nothing worse than actually standing up and leaving. Like, just literally sit there, take the earpiece out.
Exactly. It's literally like they stood up and said, "Okay,
Hi.
Who is it? Which one of you's intercepted our secret evil call?" Right?
Stop the show.
What the fuck? Yeah. And so, you know, but aside from those three things, the car, or four things, the car, which we don't see it do any gadgets, it's just a sexy ass car.
Hell yeah.
That's all. That even scratched up, I would crawl across broken glass to own. Like 16 inches worth, not a lot.
Wow.
We got the car, we got the cool scanny table, we've got the phone call thing, and we've got the camera that identifies people. Really, what I'm saying is we don't have any gadgets in this movie that I feel like I haven't seen in an Iron Man film at some point. And so, you know what, I gave it a 5.
Fair enough.
Still cool. The things we got are cool. But yeah, I need me some, you know, ejection seats, and I need me some cars with rocket launchers and stuff like that. So
Sure. Yeah.
I need me some Q branch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave it a 5.
Fair enough. I gave it a 3. Gonna be honest, below average.
I support that.
You know, we're going to hit on some of the same ones, but I want to say why I hit on them. I did find the cool interactive table computer. I thought that was neat. You can throw some stuff like the bills and it scans it, and then you can move that process and move it onto the monitor on the wall. It's great. You have to remember it's 2009, so that was pretty techy back then. And also just during some phone calls with James Bond, there was like a person of interest, and then on the cell phone call, like, he got an like live at the moment picture of like who that person was, and there were some things that were neat. But I'm actually going to say that's a bit of a slight to the show, because both those techs, as neat as they were, they aged in a way that they're very reasonable modern day abilities. Like, most of those things I could just go to Best Buy and like do in my house right now. And I feel like James Bond gadgets...
There'd be no reason for you to. You'd buy all this stuff to do it, and you'd think, wow, this is
right.
This is a waste.
But like,
I could have bought food for my family.
But like, I can't buy an ejector. I can't buy an ejector seat. Like, there, like cliche kind of Bond things. You can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you drive an Audi, not a. I mean, get your. You got to upgrade. Man, that's a Volvo feature.
Yeah. I absolutely did adore that killer phone app that he used at the opera, because he literally he took pictures of them, but it was like the back of their ear or like their back of their head, and it instantly translated to like a full facial recognition app, and like the person's social security number and their blood type and what their favorite James Bond film was. And so it was a pretty cool piece of tech. And I think that...
Which is why you should always wear a hat, because it will protect your identity.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's the tech that, like, I can't go out to Best Buy right now. I can't get something like that. So that's very cool. But again, we see more Ford, not enough Aston Martin. We just get like a few brief minutes. Not enough for me. So a 3.
Cool. Fights in action. I gave this a 9. I think, first of all, this is a step up in fights and action. This is more action-packed than Casino Royale was.
Yes, it is.
They've brought a bigger game. I love the chase at the beginning of this one where they crash through the roof and then they're on the scaffolding and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. And just every time there was action, it was fun, easy to follow, reasonable action.
Sure.
From the car chase at the beginning that the film opens with to the fight at the very end, I was pretty captivated with the action. And again, I'm not an action guy.
No.
So if you do action in a way that I'm going to score well, then you've done something special. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. So I gave it a 9.
I was lower than you, but at an 8. So a respectable score. I loved the killer opening sequence with the car chase. It breaks my heart to see the Aston Martin beat up in that condition, but very entertaining. The motorcycle hijacking was pretty badass, where he like slaps the throttle on the guy's hand and the motorcycle like goes whipping it kind of flips him off, the assailant off the motorcycle. Hard to explain, but it was a fun sequence. You did mention like it was very heavy on the action, like more so than Casino Royale. So partway through, I was a little oversaturated with the volume. It just seemed like a lot. It was
especially when you spend your day at work all day doing that type of thing. You don't want to come home and see it in a movie.
Exactly. But so, it was done well. It was still done well, but it was maybe a bit much for my liking. And where I don't like action as well, where Casino Royale, it was enough that, it wasn't too much and it was done well. This was done well, but maybe a little too much. But my one last comment is see the horse race comment above, but with the opera scene. Very interestingly cut scene where action is escalating and the opera scene is escalating and things are kind of cutting back and forth. Again, it's kind of like a feather in the cap of the fights in action, but also just a feather in the cap of the cinematic ability of the team. So yeah, I thought that was good.
You know what? I found that jarring though. Like I get that they were going for something artistic with the whole shooting montage and there's no audio. They just kind of cut the audio out.
Right.
But both times I watched it, that I don't know if it went over my head, but it just fell flat for me. I was like, I don't stylistically, I don't get this choice.
That's fair. Film is subjective, and it's has different influences for different individuals.
Get out. My word is law. Bond girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this short and sweet, like myself.
Okay.
I gave it a 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I think is incredibly high.
Yep.
When considering that I am comparing you directly to Vesperlind.
Agreed.
And maybe too high. For the most part, just disinterested. I don't find you fascinating.
Nope.
The fact that you are there now in place of Vesperlind kind of makes me dislike you a little bit.
Yep.
Makes me a little, you're rubbing me the wrong way. That's not the way I like to be rubbed.
It's like it's the stepmom, and it's like, you're not my real mom. Like, my mom cut the crusts off. You don't cut my crusts off. You're going to have to do more to impress me to get me on your side. And yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like my mom walked out this morning. It's 1 p.m. Who are you? Why are you here? Get out of my kitchen.
Yeah.
Put my underwear down. Stop it. Yeah. So you know what? This kind of it. She's so unmemorable. And I get the feeling. I'm going to pose an interesting question. Get the notion that you need a Bond girl because it's Bond. He needs a love interest. You got to see him. You got to see him shag somebody. It's a British term. It feels appropriate. But you know what? I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to propose the notion that this film could have done without any love interest.
Sure.
Because it was about him reeling from heartache.
Yeah.
Together we stand. Heartache to heartache. And, but
I would agree
flat.
that, and I'd say if not now, when? Like in a modern day representation of Bond, this is the perfect time to break the mold and say, hey, from a story perspective, I feel we could do more. I feel he could have more emotions if we didn't kind of follow this mold. So that's a good thought.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
If he's a run-of-the-mill martini drinking, bougie car driving, cigarette smoking, which I didn't pay attention to, but when did that stop? Because for sure Sean Connery smoked cigarettes.
Yep. And I feel probably
I don't know if
Roger
George
Moore.
Lazenby did.
Oh yeah.
George probably did. I don't have any. I mean, Roger Moore might have, but I don't have any memories of him doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't picture it. Anyways, if we have regular douchebag James Bond, and he doesn't have a woman to womanize, then it doesn't Then yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I mean, good for you guys, but it doesn't seem, current or consistent with the brand. But this time, screw women. I don't need anyone. Leave me alone. I don't want the embrace of anyone. No, I won't sleep with her, but no, I'm not. No, I'm a guy that's in denial about hurting, but at the same time, he's showing signs of hurting. He's not his usual self. I think that would have worked really well. I think she's very expendable in this story.
Yeah. Of note, I did a Google search. I can't answer for cigarettes, and I know that's more what we're interested in. But just in general, Pierce Brosnan was the first actor to be a smokeless Bond, although he did apparently have a puff of a cigar at the end of Die Another Day. But currently, Daniel Craig is the only one to refuse to light up as a character.
Oh, okay. He was prompted? Like, hey, 007. Hey, Daniel, come over here for a sec. Listen, I was talking with the director, and it's the 2000s now. Times are changing. So, you know what? We're going to yell action. And just before we yell action, we're going to put a joint on the table. Now, legally, I can't tell you to smoke it. But you know what? Ad-lib the scene a little bit. See what happens. And, use your environment.
Basically.
But, yeah. So I gave it a 6.
Perfect. I gave it a 5. I'm in the same boat, but even lower. I'm going to count. There were two. I'm going to count them as two Bond girls. There was Dominique's ex-girlfriend, and then there was also the very, very brief female agent. I'll talk on the female agent first. I found it disappointing because we've reverted back to the unrealistic romances which don't have a natural flow. Like literally, her and Bond were just kind of really like butting heads, conflicting. And then it all just kind of snapped just like right there. Like they just entered the hotel room and he's like, I can't find the stationery. Can you help me look? And then like it cuts to the next scene. And they've had presumably they've had sex. And it was I haven't felt that.
Listen though. You're not being fair. If I were refusing to have coitus with somebody and they said I can't find the stationery, my knees quiver. And that's I don't think it's fair to expect someone to withstand that. So just consider that moving forward.
Well, my point is that's the first time since GoldenEye or at least that stood out to me in GoldenEye, where there was these unrealistic romantic interactions where nothing was giving signs of, they're probably going to heat up. It was just like nothing, then boom, and you raise your eyebrow and go, really? It was interesting. It was sad for the character, but there was a bit of a Goldfinger reference with the woman covered in oil on a bed, which was ironically the modern day gold, just not actual gold like in Goldfinger. And we also Dominique's
situation.
Dominique's ex-girlfriend, who I will consider the main Bond girl, I just felt she was underdeveloped, not as rich, not as fleshed out, obviously, as Vesper. Just as a result, I wasn't as emotionally invested. There were some very serious emotional things, I'll say, going on with her life, like her family being killed and abused by someone that they're going to be interacting with. So there's a lot of serious things going on there that you could kind of hook into a character and be like, okay, I'm feeling involved or emotionally driven by this character. But we didn't really see her a lot. And when it came to a head, it was like, okay, yes, you need to do what you got to do, but you're just kind of a person on the screen. You're not someone I've grown with throughout this film. So I gave it a 5 out of 10.
But I mean, we've had that now. Like, any time that we have a Bond girl with a worthy backstory, that's the backstory. Right? So now it's like, you know, I don't know. It's like, oh, well, maybe we should try adding some depth to this Bond girl. All right, give her a dark past. She's been abused. She's an orphan. She's, you know, like,
sure.
I don't know. It's been done. Sorry.
Yeah. Supporting characters. Yes.
I gave this a 7, which is a step down from before.
Yep.
I like M in it still. M's great. I would say better than before, better than in Casino Royale. We get a nice fun interaction with M. She's not trusting of him. She doesn't think he's up to the task. You know, he needs to maybe take some time to deal with his pain. Really what brought this down for me is Felix Leiter.
Oh.
I still like Jeffrey Wright.
Sure.
But something about Felix in this one, I mean, it starts out and, you know, and there's the whole, you see Felix and the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Harbour. David Harbour?
Hopper.
No, but the actor's name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's David Harbour. And they're in cahoots with Green, and you're like, okay, WTF, man. And then you quickly pick up on, okay, Harbour's a shitty CIA agent, and Felix is there. He's kind of going along with it, you know, but he's not happy about it. And she's like, oh, okay, that's the Felix we know and love. But then Felix never really sticks up to this guy. He never really, like, you know, I don't know. Felix is just kind of a confusing character in this one to me. Because even when he interacts with Bond, like, he helps Bond out, but he also seems like, I'm having trouble placing my finger on it. But even when they're sitting there and they're having a beer at the bar, something about Felix is like I get that he's helping Bond, but he also doesn't really care. Like he doesn't do this, psst, Bond. Like I'm undercover. I'm in this situation. I need to play this situation out. Or whatever. Like he's just really like passive. Maybe passive is the word. Felix is really passive in this one. Yeah. And it just I don't know. He didn't work for me at all this time. So I brought it down a little bit. 7's still way above average.
Sure.
Still works in this film's favor. But yeah, I gave it a 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I gave it lower. I gave it a 4. Supporting characters, a 4. Whatever I gave, it is solely based on my emotionally driven answer of I just still love Felix Leiter in this film. Having a few cold ones with James Bond is always fun. But yeah, there's no Q, there's no Moneypenny. M is fine. Felix Leiter, we've got Sheriff Hopper from Stranger Things. I think what I'd agree with you about Felix is I feel like he's underused. Doesn't have a lot of screen time, and he doesn't have a lot of screen time in Casino either. But I think you're right. He doesn't have any kind of like follow through with Quantum either. Yeah, standing up to this guy or having some kind of moral kind of just, hey, he's tired of taking this crap. Now we kind of get to see him kind of stand on his own feet and kind of do something significant to him and the plot. He's just kind of there, and I wish he was there more, but in a more significant way. So it's kind of a squandered opportunity, I guess. And beyond him, yeah, there's not a whole lot to write about. So I give it a 4. It's not the worst we've seen, but it's not great.
You don't enjoy M in this?
Oh yeah, I enjoy M. Not I guess I didn't really elaborate on it. I would say she's average. She has some funny moments. We actually also see some emotional side of her. Like she's betrayed by one of her workers, and she like throws an ashtray across the room. She's like, I gave this to him 3 bloody Christmases ago. So
right, it
was good. Yeah,
it's Dame Judi Dench, man.
Oh yeah,
like she's a dame. You don't. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Final category of significance. Bond song.
Mm-hmm.
I gave this a 5, which is the same thing that I gave it last time. Last time I really liked the song,
sure,
but the sequence fell entirely flat for me. This time we've switched. We have naked silhouettes of women back, which, love me or hate me, I missed it last time because I was like, it's it's just what I know. It's what I've known for 20 some odd.
Comes with the territory. Comes with the territory.
Bond film, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like the nudity, the naked silhouettes this time were used far more tactfully than they have been far in the past.
Fair. Yeah.
Having said that, what a shit song! Like having come off of the song from Casino Royale, this just falls flat.
I'm deeply offended that this.
Okay.
I know some things flip flopped in your ranking, but like I'm actually deleting you on Facebook as we speak. That you gave the song from Quantum of Solace and that sequence the same overall score as the song and sequence from Casino Royale. Like,
but listen. It's because so think of it this way. Think of it this way.
Okay.
I'm giving the Casino Royale song a 7.5. But I'm giving the sequence a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm still pissed about that.
So they meet in the middle.
Yeah, I understand.
This one.
Yeah.
I'm giving the song a 2.5. I'm giving the sequence a 6.5. No, I'm giving the sequence higher. Sorry. I'm giving the sequence like an 8.
A 7.5.
No. Wait.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving it like an 8 or an 8.5, but I'm subtracting more because I don't know what stupid doofus at Columbia Pictures or MGM or whatever idiot idea this was.
Mm.
If I were to come up to you, Pete, right now,
sure,
and I were to say, and you know what, I didn't know where exactly to have this be reflected in the rating.
Sure.
Ultimately, I chose Bond song because
'Kay.
typically they happen relatively close to each other.
Sure.
If I were to walk up to you and I said, I'm making a 007 film, and you would say, holy shit.
Wow, good for you.
You're not the person I would pick to direct a Bond film, but whatever. That's
you do you.
Start writing my eulogy for the franchise. And I said, listen, I'm having a debate. Despite 22, 23 previous films, I just can't figure out where I'm going to put the gun barrel sequence. Do I stick it right at the beginning where it belongs, or do I put it confusingly at the end of the film? That pissed me off something fierce. I went the entire film pissed off because there was no gun barrel sequence. And then the gun barrel sequence happens. It happens right at the end. And so I was like, oh, okay, it was there. But as an afterthought, why is it sitting at the end? So that also effed up the score for me. Anyways, I give it a 5. Yeah, great sequence, shit song, and someone with this worst case of dyslexia I've ever seen was in charge of editing the gun barrel sequence in. So I gave it a 5.
I understood your explanation of like how they balanced each other out to a degree, but I'm still like, I still think you should have given this even a 4.9. It needs to physically be lower, but we'll talk.
You know
about
what?
that.
Then unfriend me on Facebook. Stop following me on Tinder. Shit, remove me from your MySpace. I really don't care.
No. That's a step too far.
That's
Don't even
that's
say
how
that.
we know we're brothers.
Yeah, don't ever say that part again.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
can edit that out. I'll edit that
please,
out. That's all.
Please, yeah. I give it the exact same score, a 5 out of 10. Not much to say here. Alicia Keys, Another Way to Die. For me, the video montage was meh. The song, But yeah, it's not a great Bond intro. I can't say it's the worst because there were some pretty non-memorable ones that we've watched.
Thunderball.
Oh, so at least this one I can talk about and know and have some recollection of, but it's definitely not great. So right in the middle.
You know what still?
Meh.
You know what still plays in my head every time a Bond movie starts?
Live and Let Free.
Bum bum bum.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. It's so good. I don't know why it's so good. It doesn't even sound like a Bond song, but it makes me so happy.
Which I was still so surprised that song was a Bond song. Like I've heard that Paul McCartney song dozens of times, not knowing that it was associated with a Bond song.
Ah, so good. Okay. You have a ninth category that shall not be named.
It will literally not be named in this film because there was nothing that I wrote down.
There's nothing.
Like, there were no
but
one-liners.
I wasn't missed.
Yeah.
And I think I'm realizing how much I dislike the one-liners.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. My enjoyment of these films have been because there's less one-liners, I think.
Yeah, but I think they were fitting for who was giving them. Like, Pierce Brosnan, those, in some ways, they were in a lot of ways, they were a different film. And I felt like maybe they fit in because he was just kind of the cliche, I'm going to womanize people, I'm going to blow stuff up, I'm going to have fun. So far with Daniel Craig, he says witty things that are funny, but I think if he had one-liners of the same caliber, it would really detract and remove from the story of who James Bond is, which is really what we get to explore in these films. So I'm fine that there aren't that many.
As far as womanizing and stuff, Roger Moore was like the uncle that tags along to the bachelor party even though you don't want him to come. And you've planned like a decent bachelor party. Like you've planned we're gonna play some video games, we're gonna go do this. We got a weekend. We're gonna go to the amusement park. We're gonna do some camping. But no, he's hired a stripper, and
everyone is uncomfortable. Like everyone is
even though he's 57, he expects everyone to do friggin' lines of blow off the stripper's back because why not? It's a bachelor party. How better to begin your marriage other than being unfaithful to the woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
My God.
Wow.
There's a shelf in my heart, and there are two things that sit on that shelf.
Sure.
3 things. I lied.
Sure.
There are 3 things.
One of them is Back to the Future.
One is Roger Moore's hairpiece. Second is a bust of Not bust, a busk. A busk? Is it a busk? What is the, where it's like a head? It's like a head and shoulders.
Oh,
What is that?
a bust maybe. I'll Google it. What
yeah,
do
I don't know.
of what bust?
Of James Marsden.
Huh.
And finally is a Blu-ray copy of Lost in Translation. And it's this shelf. It's this dark, dismal place. It's the type of place that at the start of a school year, Dumbledore would say, those who do not wish to suffer a most painful death should probably not friggin' wander over and start licking the shelf. But... okay.
I don't know what to say to that. While you are on the topic of Harry Potter, I will say I kind of told you this over a message of sorts. I feel like there's a Harry Potter connection for this film. To me, this is the Deathly Hallows Part 1 of the Daniel Craig James Bond film series. Not like obviously things happen, but it's kind of stagnant from a progression point of view for me. Yeah, he doesn't. Not a whole lot is exposed. Like, is this organization Spectre or not? It takes him a long time to actually just kind of do something as far as like emotionally shedding levels of his of his heartbreak from Vesper. It just seems like for all the screen time we get, we really don't move along in the story, in the overall story. And it's kind of like the Deathly Hallows Part 1 where it's like, hey, we've got 27 Horcruxes to destroy. Let's just like sit on them for a bit and destroy them all in the next film. And that's kind of the comparison I'll make.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's very fair.
What did you give this out of 10? All
right. So if I pile all those up and do some sort of tricky math with them. So the last film I gave a 7.6.
Sure.
This one I gave a 6.9.
Sure.
Definitely a step down. Definitely.
Yep.
I wouldn't say major. I don't think major is the right word, but a noteworthy step down. Just scrapes its way into the top 5 quintessential Bond films.
Wow. I'm surprised it's that high.
Falling behind 3 out of the 4 Pierce Brosnan ones.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
So it goes Casino Royale, GoldenEye,
yep.
Tomorrow Never Dies,
okay.
The World Is Not Enough,
sure,
and then this Quantum of Solace.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I can live with that. I mean, I don't like Quantum of Solace, but at least there's some other ones that beat it out. So if it was like second, I think I'd have more of a problem. But as much as I'm beating up on Quantum of Solace, it still falls into that category of I will watch it to complete a series. So 5 years from now, if I'm just watching the Daniel Craig films, I will watch it to complete the series. I can't say that for some of those previous duds that we watched where I watched once and I'm not going to watch it again willingly. I gave it a 5.
If you're tied naked to a chair and someone's gonna swing a rope at your nuts, then you'd watch for sure. You'd watch it.
If that got me out of that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably would. Probably. Right. I give Quantum of Solace a 5 out of 10. So as far as on the scale, obviously it's right down the middle. As far as where it ranks on my scores of all these films, it's also right down the middle. So it's tied with a couple others, but it's around 12th of the 24 we've done. So it's right in the middle.
You were certainly harder on this film, I think, than I was.
Yeah. And I've always historically been so. It just, for me, I love Casino Royale, so it's, again, has the stepmother effect where it's like you're going to have to do something extra special to, replace what we just came from, and it doesn't do that, and just as a result, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's still a lot better than quite a few others.
All right.
Where do you think this ranks on the tomato meter of all the James Bond films?
My odds are getting better.
They are.
What is left? Is there anything?
Yeah.
Like,
so obviously
just give
there
me
are
at this point. Just give me. Don't tell me like top, middle, or just like what's left.
Yeah, of course. You've got 5, 17, and 18.
Oh wow. I don't think it's 5. I think I know which one is 5. 17
Okay.
and 18. 17 and 18. I'm gonna go 18.
Sure. It was 17.
Oh my god.
It was of note.
My odds are 1 and 3, and I still can't hit the friggin' dartboard.
Don't worry about it. It was a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So just a little, like 4% less than what I give it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah.
All right. Shake this thing up.
And stir it. No, don't stir it.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't stir.
Please like, follow, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out our social media platforms below on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The links are below. That's where we put all out our new information and our future votes for future episodes where you tell us what movies to review. If you're feeling so inclined, you can check out our Man, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, are you okay? I made jokes earlier about a stroke, and maybe I shouldn't have. That's
I shouldn't have. Too soon. Check out our Patreon page and our merchandise page. They're both below. If you're not feeling that level of support yet, no worries. Just thank you for listening. And give us a like and a comment. Just let us know what you think. We always love hearing feedback.
Yeah, what he said, but double for me.